Tomb Raider Remastered is launching this Wednesday, and I'm so excited to announce that thanks to Crystal Dynamics, I was gifted an early access copy to review. I'm so excited. Okay, so in this video, you'll get a first look at the menus for each game and a full walkthrough of the caves level from Tomb Raider 1. I'll be talking about my favorite features, exciting changes, and giving you a glimpse of what to expect. Now, I'll also be sharing a walkthrough on my channel of the Great Wall level from Tomb Raider 2 and the Jungle level from Tomb Raider 3. I am so thrilled to share this first look of Tomb Raider Remastered with you all, so let's hop right in. Alright, so first things first. When you hop into the game and get into the menu, you can see that it's been beautifully updated. The textures are very smooth and clear. The colors are vibrant, but it still gives that classic Tomb Raider feel. And Laura's face has so much personality to it. Like, her face card is clearly never going to decline after almost 28 years. So as you scroll through the menu, the sound effects are the same, but they sound much more clear and high quality. The icons are 3D, and you can actually see what the buttons are on them really good. The options are still the same. You can edit the game controls, the sound options, and then the extras, which are just the credits and license agreement. And then, of course, you can visit Laura's home. One thing I noticed is the added accessibility features in the sound menu for subtitles, which you can switch on or off. You can also edit the language in here. So I really like that they added that subtitle option, and the fact that you can toggle it on or off is going to be super helpful for the dialogue and the cutscenes. Alright, so when you start the game itself, you can either select a new game. I already have some things in here because I've been playing, but you can select a new game, or you can go right into the DLC, and this is consistent across all three of the game menus. Now, my favorite part about the menu is how seamless it is and easy it is to switch between each game. So pressing the D-pad will let you scroll down to Tomb Raider 2, as you can see in the bottom right corner, where the down arrow is. So here's Tomb Raider 2. So it's very easy to scroll between Tomb Raider 1, 2, and 3, and I absolutely love this setup as it makes it so easy to flip through multiple games in one sitting without having to exit the game completely. Now I will say that there is a little bit of lag when you scroll, but when you start getting, doing it more often, it does go pretty quickly. But when you first get started, it does lag just a little bit. My one criticism so far is that unlike the classics, there's no demo footage that plays when you sit idle in the menus for too long. I really missed that feature, and I think it was really unique to retro games, and I would have loved to have seen remastered versions of those. Before we hop into the game, I'd like to point out my favorite feature of the remasters, and that is switching between the classic and remastered version of Tomb Raider. Look at that. I love that, okay? I love it so much. You can do this in the menu screen and in the games themselves, and I think this is perfect for players who want to live in between both of those modes. And for those of you who want to take your time comparing the two and really soaking it all in. In my playthroughs of these, you're going to see a lot of that. And with that being said, let's hop into some gameplay. One thing you'll notice is that the cinematic cutscenes have not been updated. They look a bit more clear, a little more high quality, but they are still the same cutscenes. But the in-game cutscenes that you'll see after you end a level, for example, after the Great Wall or after the jungle levels in Tomb Raider 2 and 3, those cutscenes have been updated with, they have been remastered. But the cinematic cutscenes, like this one right here, and the ones in the beginning of the games, have not changed, and they're still the same.
What's a man gotta do to get that kind of attention from you?
It's hard to say exactly, but you seem to be doing fine.
Well, great. Though truth is, it ain't me that wants you.
Oh?
No, Miss Jacqueline Natla does. From Natla Technologies. You know, creator of all things bright and beautiful.
Seal it, Larson.
Ma'am.
Feast your eyes on this, Lara. How does that make your wallet rumble?
I'm sorry. I only play for sport.
Then you'll like a big park. Peru. Vast mountain ranges to cover. Sheer walls of ice. Rocky crags, savage winds. And there's this little trinket. An age-old artifact of mystical power is buried in the unfound tomb of Qualapec. That's my interest. You could leave tomorrow. Are you busy tomorrow?
Now, one thing we did get was updated loading screens, and they look absolutely amazing. So, when you get in here, you take a look around. The environment looks much more realistic. I really love the environmental elements like the snow and the sun rays and things like that. You can also see the wolf footprints are still very present. And I really want to just take time to really admire the environment here. Lara, she feels very much more light on her feet. I am using tank controls for this walkthrough. I just preferred the tank controls, but I will do a video with the modern controls so you all can see that. And we're gonna collect our first secret here. So one thing they did add was action indicators that tell you what to pick up and indicate pickups, indicate levers and switches and things like that. You can toggle that on or off in the control menu. I chose to leave mine on because I think it's a nice added touch to the game. Now, the med packs also have gotten a really nice upgrade. They look much more high quality. It actually looks like leather to me, which I really, really like. So like I said, if you take a look here and you switch between like the classic mode and the remastered mode, you can definitely see the difference between what they've added to the environment and what they've enhanced, and I think it looks really nice. Even the sun rays are such a lovely addition. I also love Laura's model and her look. I love the rosy cheeks that they gave her because she's in a cold environment. But I really, really love what they've done with the remasters for Tomb Raider. And I think that they've done a great job at enhancing the environment but still giving it it that classic look and feel that we all know and love. They've added a lot of foliage to the game, as you can see over here to the right, where the textures, the 3D textures really pop out at you. And like I said, you can also see here the difference between what they've added from the classic mode and then the remastered mode, which I think is really, really lovely. Look at the snow, look at the sun rays, and then look at the foliage as well. Like, you really get swallowed up in nature in this cave, and I really, really love that. It makes the experience much more immersive and realistic. You really do feel like you're running through some caves, and so I really, really appreciate those features. We're coming up on our first switch, and as I said before, there are action indicators here that demonstrate what switches you should be paying attention to when you get close to them. And like I said, you can toggle that on or off if you're not interested in that. Right here in the controls, and there's the action indicators. You can also change between tank controls and modern controls, and you can edit the controls right here in the menu as well, based on like your preference and things like that. I really, really love this environment. Like I said, you can see like the little ice balls on the floor. Those look much more realistic. Here's another comparison between classic Tomb Raider and the remastered Tomb Raider as well, just to really get a feel for how things look and how things have changed. I can tell that I'm gonna be really, really excited to use that. Now, another thing that they did fix, and my speedrunners will love this, is that Lara, you no longer have to count her steps. As you can see, I easily made that big jump to the bridge easy. Lara jumps whenever you tell her to jump now, and that's gonna be a game changer for speed running. I speed run. I just started speed running, but yeah, it's gonna be a game changer. But yeah, just to look at the difference in this environment, the wolves look much more realistic as well. The combat is pretty much still the same here though. The wolves aren't, they're not harder to defeat than in the classic game. I found, as you can just see in this playthrough, it really wasn't really very difficult for me to take them out from the bridge. But yeah, Lara jumps when you want her to now, so I really love that. That's gonna make it so much easier for speed running. Now, this next part, we are gonna go down here. This is a full playthrough of this level, so our bear friend is still down here lurking, and he goes down pretty quickly as well. So once you take him out, you're gonna turn and get those two bats that are in here lurking as well, and then go through this door. There's a med kit here. You do need to step on this plate to open the door, and it does close pretty quickly, but that's okay. You just step on it and go through. You're back in the area where you first met the wolves in the beginning. Now, this part right here used to scare me when I was a kid in the classic, and I want to look at the comparison. It looks much more realistic now than it did back then, but they still kept that here, and I love that they kept that there. That's one of the things that really stuck out to me in the classic game, so I'm glad that they still left that in the environment. Before we enter this next area, we are gonna get the small med kit that's over here in case you didn't know it was there. And we're gonna head down into our next fight with the wolves, which can be challenging. I also really love the music in this area. It's so intense, and I love that they kept it. So after we take out the wolves, we're gonna get this next med kit, small med kit that's over here, and then head to our final secret of the level. Again, the 3D textures really, really pop out at you, which I absolutely love. I love how green everything is, and I just love the nature aspect that they've added to for the remaster. Once again, you can see the comparison between how the plants used to look and how they look now. So at this part, we're gonna take a nice little side jump. This door is timed. So if you're playing this for the first time, you don't wanna mess around getting into that door because it will close on you if you don't get in there. I love the sun rays that shine through in that entrance. There's more snow right here, and then we're gonna take out this next wolf enemy that's over here lurking in the corner. Again, look at the snow. I love the snow. I love the snowflakes and how they come. It's just so peaceful, and it looks so good in this environment. Once again, Laura does jump whenever you want her to, so there's no more counting of the steps, which I really, really appreciate. And now we're going to encounter our final wolf of the level and pick up this last med kit. I love the music in this section as well. It's so intense and so exciting. It just makes you want to hurry up and get out of the level. There is a way to get down here without hurting yourself. What you can do is if you just take a stumble, Laura will slide backwards and then you won't take damage. All right, and that is the end of my playthrough of the Caves level for Tomb Raider Remastered. Stay tuned as I will be posting my walkthrough for Tomb Raider 2, The Great Wall, next. See you next time.